Not taking action while manifesting can be a very challenging thought because we are used to doing things physically in order to achieve anything. When it comes to manifestation, the opposite applies. In the past couple of weeks, I have had 2 clients say to me that they have witnessed their physical action towards their manifestation backfire in real time. And in this video, we are going to talk about why. If you need a more personalized help, you can book a coaching session with me from the link in the description box below. You can also join my Master Manifestor Mastermind group, which is a consistent coaching in groups. In order to join, please send me an email from my booking page. Also check out the links below for my courses. And let's talk about why not taking action while manifesting is a better idea than taking action. Everything in the physical is a manifestation of your imagination. You already know this. What people forget is that their own physical actions are also a manifestation of their imagination. So assumptions, beliefs, etc. Whenever you are taking action, you are taking action from your current state. The fact that I think we all have been so used to taking action in order to achieve literally anything makes people take this behavior and apply it to manifestation, which doesn't work for several reasons. One is let's start from the beginning. In order to manifest something, you need to practice that thought until it becomes your new reality. So it needs to be, this is true for me now, and then it manifests. And this is why we affirm in present tense. This is why we visualize in first person perspective, etc. So it needs to be real and true and almost solid in your mind first, as if it's already true, and then it manifests in your reality. So when you, in the process of manifesting, in the process of training your mind towards that story, that idea, that new assumption, if you are at the same time trying to take action, most of the time that comes from the idea that I don't have this, so I need to do something about it in order to achieve it. When you are in a similar state, you did the opposite of living in the end, which is literally what I said a minute ago, that you need to affirm or imagine something as if it's already true. So every time you try to take action in order to make something happen, you're not helping your manifestation. You are doing quite the opposite. You're coming from a state of, I don't have this, so I need to do stuff to make it happen, which is your old way of living. Now you are a conscious manifester. You know that everything is a manifestation. And please remember, including your actions. Another thing is that even if you take action and that does something, your current action comes from your current state. So that action is going to have an effect that is similar to your current state. So if your mind is not in the right place, which is I already have my desire, then taking that action is going to, even if it had a momentary positive effect, your current state, your current assumptions are going to kick in and manifest anyway. So you can see that you might as well not take the action. You might as well sit back, go back into your imagination and work with your assumptions. That is the most efficient thing that you can do. Another reason which this is the best way to go about it is because if you want lasting changes, if you don't want to be continuously dealing with the same situation again and again and again, your assumptions need to change. So even if you fix it in the 3D, momentarily, temporarily, and you keep your old assumptions, that is again going to be very momentary fix, and your assumptions will then have to manifest, because that's what assumptions do, they manifest. In order to create a lasting change in your life, in whatever situation you are in, you need to change the assumptions behind it. That's it. Now, this is for the times when you are consciously taking action in order to make manifestation happen. That is completely anti-manifestation, by the way. If it is needed, if it's a situation where it is absolutely needed for you to take some sort of action in order to make your manifestation happen, or to make your desire manifest, you will be guided to take that action in a way that you won't be able to not take that action. Because once something is impressed on your subconscious mind, it has to express, it has to manifest. So if you are part of that manifestation in the sense that you need to do something, you will do it. Don't worry about it. And this is why I don't want anybody who is manifesting to focus on what action to take. That's focus wasted on something that you won't figure out with your human self. Your mind knows whether you need to take action or not, and it will make it happen regardless of the circumstances. So if you taking action is part of that manifestation, it will happen. And this is why Neville Goddard says that once your idea is impressed, you sit back and you do nothing. You don't need to lift a finger. This is a direct phrase from several of his texts where he says you don't need to lift a finger. And he also says you actually can't do anything more than that. And that is what it means, that once it's impressed, your mind will figure out how to make it happen. You in your human form don't know all the ways and all the possible ways that it can come to pass. So you sit back and you see it unfold. For many, and I have direct experience with this needs to be trained, because I have been someone who would just go and do whatever I thought of doing or wanting. I would take action without even thinking. I'm not shy. I'm not thinking twice. If I want this, I just go and do. But at some point in my manifestation journey, in my conscious manifestation journey, after years of experience, I noticed that I am still in that place of, I can just do it. But manifestation is not about doing it. It's about becoming it. And when you become the person from that state, that desire has already happened. So there's nothing to do. And that is what we train. And I had to train myself. I remember the first manifestation where I almost had to force myself to sit on my hands in order to not do anything, because it was just a reflex. Like, I can just do this, I can just do that. And I had to stop myself specifically several times during that process and train myself to, instead of just take action, even though for me it was effortless, it was natural, it was just something I was used to, I had to train myself to stop myself and come back into my imagination and exercise being that which I desired to be, that which I was manifesting to experience. And in doing so, a little bit challenging, I have to say, if you're used to just go and do like I was. But in doing so and in training myself, it was such a beautiful experience to see my manifestation just unfold. unfold. It just happened. And one other reason that I did this was that I wanted to have the experience that things come to me instead of I go and chase and do and achieve. That people come to me, that beautiful situations happen to me. And that started happening through purely manifesting it without taking action, by literally sitting on my hands. And I can guarantee you, again, as I said earlier, the times that my action taking had to be part of my manifestation, it has happened. I have had manifestation where I had to take action, but in that moment, it happens so naturally. It happens like the most natural thing in that moment. And then that's just it. It's effortless. So don't go figuring out what I need to do. Maybe if I had said this, maybe if I had done this. The best thing you can do is to stop yourself, go back into your imagination, and continuously exercise being that person who has that experience. That's the more efficient way of manifesting and also creating lasting changes. Specifically, if you have had undesired situations repeat. Maybe the same thing happens with different people. The same thing happens to you in different situations. This is a pattern. This is an assumption. Once you change that assumption without having to take any action, that new assumption will have to manifest in different scenarios. But in this case, it's a beautiful assumption. It's something that you have chosen, that you want to experience. It's a whole different experience altogether. So this is why I never advise any of you viewers or any of my clients to take physical action. I can stop you from taking action because, that's also how you gain experience. Like my clients learned, I literally tell everyone, I don't want you to do anything physical. The work is mental. But then I have people sometimes who take action and then they come to me that, Anna, that backfired. Yeah, it backfired because you were in your current state, not in the state that you desired to be. And that's all manifestation is about. If you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, you are very welcome to book a one-on-one coaching session with me from the link in the description box below, or join my Master Manifestors mastermind group. Send me an email through my booking page if you want to join that, and check out the links for my courses. Have a beautiful day and see you in the next video.